was invisible to women. I didn't know what to do. Terry Langston, God bless him. He came along and he just pulled me aside one day and he said, Daniel, I got something for you. I said, okay, what do you have for me? And he said, I'm going to help you with your love life. You need to grow the Langstache. He pointed at this.
I was just a kid when I started here, and I had a lot of trouble in the beginning. Trouble stringing words together. I have difficulty talking, and for a preacher, I mean, that's a real challenge. And I still remember the day that Terry Langston pulled me aside, and he offered to help me. And I distinctly remember him saying, I have one word for you. And he said the word is Langstache. And I asked him, what is Langstache? And he pointed at his, and I said, your mustache. And he said, no, it's not a mustache. I think he was a little bit insulted by that. He said it's a Langstache, and he talked about the power of the Langstache.
Hi there. I want to share a little bit with you about life before the Langstache. You see, before the Langstache, I couldn't carry conversation about even the simplest topic. For instance, I couldn't intelligibly discuss how to calculate the inverse derivative of the velocity of a 747 during takeoff. I couldn't tell you much about the perichoretic nature of the relationship between the three persons of the triune Godhead. I couldn't even determine the location of a quark, as in quantum mechanics. I couldn't even tie my shoes or say my ABCs until one day. One day, Terry Langston came by and he said, I know something that will be the answer for you. It will give you power beyond what you could even imagine. He said it's called the Langstache.
So I grew the Langstache, and I believe it was the next day that I met Danny. Believe it or not, I haven't always been this good looking. I mean, look. Before, I know, after.
Why not? Could it hurt anything to try to grow one of these things? And so I did, and over the course of time, I think a lot of people will say, while I'm not the best preacher there is, I'm not great at public speaking, it's so much better than it was, and I owe it to the Langstache.
He said it's called the Langstache. And if you'll just grow the Langstache, all of your dreams will come true and all of your ill-begotten ways will be gone. And I pondered on this for as long as I could ponder when I was so dumb. And I said, well, maybe I'll try to grow a Langstache. Well, after a few months, it started to come in quite nicely, and I started to feel something. Something had changed in me. And now I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I can even use a big boy potty all by myself.
Yeah, when Terry told me about the Langstache, I wasn't even sure if I could grow one. I mean, I was just a boy with some little whiskers. But he told me, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. He said, Daniel, if you grow it, they will come. I'm not invisible anymore. I'm visible now.
Okay, I'll get right on that. Thank you. Bye-bye. I used to be the most disorganized church administrator. The desk was a mess. I couldn't find anything. I kept missing up appointments and dates for people. I couldn't even find my pen or to write down notes when people would call. But that all changed when Terry Langston came by and saw the state that my desk was in, and I told him how upset the pastor was every time he came in here, and he shared with me his secret, the Langstache. It took me a while to grow it in, but it was all worth it.
Thank you, Langstache. You've changed my life.
Thank you, Langstache, for you have changed my life.
Thank you, Langstache. You changed my life.
Thank you, Langstache, because you have changed my life.
Thank you, Langstache. You changed my life.
I like to think that Danny's in love with me for who I am. But I really think it's just the Langstache that she's in love with. I'm really afraid to shave it off.
Thinking about the change that the Langstache has made in my life, it's been a true transformation. It's like a caterpillar to a butterfly.
For years I had a dream of being a puppeteer, and trying various things just wasn't working for me. And I was reduced to doing birthday parties for dogs. And one day Terry said, well, hey, try the Langstache. And it was just amazing. Something clicked, and I realized, okay, you use your hands with this. And it was just a revolutionary thing, all because of the Langstache. And now, thanks to the Langstache, I've done a couple of films, and I've traveled around the world. And, you know, I can't say that it would have happened without the Langstache, but it wouldn't have happened without the Langstache. Thank you, Langstache.
Thank you, Langstache. You've changed my life.
I remember right when I grew the Langstache, it just didn't feel right. It felt awkward. And I remember going to Terry saying, it's like it doesn't fit. And he said, just give it some time. Give it some time. And I remember saying, Terry, I feel like you and I need to be in a buddy cop movie from the 1980s or something. And he said, just give it some time and allow the power of the Langstache to do its work on you.
Thank you, Langstache.
Thanks to the Langstache.
Thank you, Langstache. You've changed my life.
Thank you, Langstache. You changed my life.
Thank you, Langstache. You changed my life.
Thank you, Langstache. You changed my life.
The Langstache changed my life. Thank you, Langstache. Thank you, Langstache.
You can ask any teenager in our church over the last 13 years, and they will tell you about my ultimate frisbee skills. It is the beast comes out when I play, and the truth is, it's not because of my great physical stature. It's not because of my chiseled muscular structure. It's not because of years of training. It's not for any of those reasons. It's the Langstache, and the Langstache only.
Thanks, Langstache. You changed my life. Thank you, 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 Langstache.
I still remember the day that I was talking to Terry, and he just, for whatever reason, decided to open up to me. And I remember him telling me that he never went to college. never studied anything. And I said, Terry, how could that be? You're an electrical engineer. How can you do that without going to school? And he got this big smile on his face, and he said, the Langstache. Superman has his cape. Batman has his utility belt. They all have sources of power and strength. Terry Langston has the Langstache.